5, 4, 3, 2, 1, mark.
For more than 30 years, central Montana has been the home to the most potent nuclear weapon delivery system in the United States arsenal. With a complex covering more than 23,000 square miles, the 341st Missile Wing operates 200 hardened underground silos and 20 launch control centers to support our nation's policy of nuclear deterrence. Advanced technology has made the Minuteman III missiles the safest and most accurate in the world, and our 99% alert rate is tribute to the dedication and professionalism of our personnel. As a member of the Missile Maintenance Squadron, you will be accountable for thousands of dollars worth of equipment and responsible for working on or around the most destructive weapons known to man. You have incurred an obligation to uphold the highest standards of technical discipline and integrity, a tradition from those before you. Our mission is to maintain one leg of the U.S. nuclear triad in a high state of readiness. We can only accomplish this through the uncompromising determination of all our people to do the job right the first time and every time. The 341st Missile Wing is divided into 4 groups, of which 2, operations and logistics, deal directly with our weapons system. Within our own group, the Maintenance Squadron is the most direct contributor to the wing mission, but not very effective without the close cooperation of the other squadrons. Our work can only be accomplished with the resources they provide. This fundamental reliance of one on another is the basis for the Team Malmstrom concept, and the importance of our tasks demand that we accept it. Missile maintenance team personnel are the only technicians qualified and authorized to mechanically and electrically connect or disconnect re-entry systems, which contain the warheads, missile guidance sets, and the main booster engine or downstage at the remote launch facilities. Their capabilities make them central players in the removal or installation of a missile. Not only do they work with the missile handling teams in the movement of the downstage, but they will be responsible for the attachment of the weapon's payload once it is in place. While on site, the 5-member teams also perform preventative maintenance inspections and electrical tests on the missile itself and its support equipment at the facility. Certain parts of the warhead require scheduled removal and replacement to remain fully effective, and it is the maintenance teams who dispatch to carry out the task. During these limited life component exchanges, or bomb swaps, the entire original re-entry system is disconnected from the missile and a new one put in its place. Under tight security, the old warheads will be convoyed back to base where the munitions flight will rebuild them. A similar operation takes place when the missile guidance set fails and requires replacement. The team first removes the re-entry system, exchanges the guidance set, then reattaches the payload. The missile handling flight is responsible for all Minuteman downstage operations on Malmstrom Air Force Base and throughout the missile complex. Removal and replacement of missile boosters is performed by a 4-person team and supported by a convoy commander. The team dispatches to the launch facility and must first secure the trailer on the huge 9-axle transporter erector truck, then raise it over the launch closure door. Once in position, rods are lowered and connected to the sling that supports the missile. After it is disconnected by a missile maintenance team in the launch tube, the 70,000-pound downstage is hoisted from the silo into the TE. The trailer is then slowly lowered, the booster locked in place, and the team returns it to the base. If a booster requires shipment to depot or any other destination, MHT coordinates all transportation functions. The missile downstage is first transferred from the TE to an environmentally controlled transport trailer in a task known as a roll. The two vehicles are connected and carefully leveled to prevent the booster from rolling on its own. A powerful winch is connected to the wheeled carriage that supports the downstage and pulls it from one trailer into the next. Once secured, the booster is moved to a holding area until it is ready to be shipped. 3 modes of transportation are available for this function: over the road in its trailer, rail car, and C-141 aircraft. The immense size of the missile fields demands that the squadron maintain a fleet of trucks to get there. The vehicle control section is responsible for over 200 missile-related maintenance vehicles. Their duties are to maintain the status of each vehicle, ensure it is serviced, and has received its monthly, quarterly, or annual inspection for safe condition and for all scheduled maintenance requirements. The wide variety needed for maintenance tasks makes this no easy job, nor do the extremes of the Montana climate. But careful attention to detail keeps mechanical trouble to a minimum in dispatching teams on the road. Working round the clock, vehicle control teams ensure all the trucks are washed and cleaned prior to their next use, and make regular checks on potential trouble spots such as oil, belts, and tires. In addition, they perform minor repairs to keep the vehicles in top working order despite harsh environmental conditions and heavy use. Although not directly involved with the weapons system, they are where every dispatch begins. Along with its sister section, vehicles, equipment is an essential stop for maintenance teams. Equipment control warehouses, controls, and issues over 4,000 special and general purpose equipment items for missile maintenance personnel use. This includes gear from lowering ropes to electrical cables, from tire chains to $1,000 diagnostic sets. Their duties are to inspect, issue, recover, control, and identify discrepancies for each piece of equipment assigned to the age flight. Equipment team members must have a working knowledge of all the items that pass through their doors and must be able to recognize problems with the items before a team discovers them 100 miles from base. They also prepare and load equipment onto maintenance vehicles for scheduled dispatches to ensure that each team is properly provided with the tools necessary to accomplish its task. Equipment recovery section inspects, performs minor repairs, and tracks inspection requirements for all assigned equipment. Often broken items can be fixed here more quickly and much cheaper than sending them out or replacing them. In the weapons storage area, the munitions flight has one of the most critical parts to play in the life of a Minuteman III missile. They ensure that the weapon is electrically safe, handle any limited life component exchanges, and repair damaged parts on the re-entry vehicle and re-entry system. The most common type of maintenance is a recycle, when the RS is removed from the missile and transported to the WSA to have the limited life component exchanged. This process involves disassembly of the weapon, component exchange, reassembly, and testing. The entire procedure takes an average of 7 days. Additionally, the importance and classification of the weapons requires that munitions have its own dedicated support establishment. It is divided into 3 separate sections: production control, material control, and nuclear ordnance commodity management. Despite Malmstrom's lack of combat aircraft, the conventional munitions section has a very big job. The large security police contingent uses a huge amount of ammunition, grenades, and other ordnance that must be inspected, stored, and accounted for. Not only do they receive, label, and ensure the safe function of the munitions, but once it is expended, they must re-inspect and certify that fact. The electromechanical flight's primary tasks are troubleshooting the electrical systems at the launch facilities and missile alert facilities, loading programs into the missile guidance set, and performing on-site maintenance of LF surveillance and access systems. At the LFs and MAFs, the teams remove and replace the 1,450-pound storage batteries, correct problems with the electrical surge arresters, and repair the motor generator set, which supplies power to the other components within the system. Often problems develop in the delicate systems that control function of the site, and EMT must bring in the electronic drawers so that they can be repaired on base. This is often the case with the site surveillance system. Obviously, providing intruder detection is critical to the physical safety of the weapon, but the electronics are finicky and often require a visit by EMT to correct. Loading programs into the missile guidance set is one of the most important tasks that EMT is required to accomplish. Teamwork and coordination with other shops is very important during this operation. When a guidance set fails at a site, MMT is required to remove and replace it. EMT then dispatches and loads data into the MGS memory using the tape prepared by Wings Code Division. In the electronics laboratory, the many control, monitoring, and communications drawers in launch facilities and missile alert facilities are tested and repaired. The importance of the components they are responsible for demands a zero-defect atmosphere and careful adherence to technical orders. The slightest glitch in a guidance or targeting system could render a missile useless once launched, or leave a launch control center without communication to its missiles. Although the technology is outdated, the components, drawers, and test equipment have all shown themselves to be adequate even after 30 years, along with some help from ELAB. ELAB technicians must be proficient in inspecting and troubleshooting with both diagnostic equipment and with their own systems knowledge. This section also receives and assembles the missile guidance set. The MGS is installed on board the missile and controls it once in flight. Its classification requires that it be secured in a special vault. The mechanical parts of equipment and vehicles are handled by the mechanical section of shop's flight. Hoists, cables, hydraulic actuators, and metalwork all fall under their care. Constant inspections and checkouts ensure that the squadron is always ready to perform work in the field. Mech also works on certain weapon system components, such as the A-Vault, and reworks or reorders needed parts. At the Wing's proof load test facility, all cables and winches are subjected to controlled stress to make certain they will perform safely in real operations. Using a system of gears and hydraulic rams, all critical parts of a hoist can be tested at the pit. Slowly the pressure is increased and decreased, but finally the equipment is certified ready for the worst of field conditions. The Power, Refrigeration, and Electrical, or PREL section, performs maintenance on brine chillers, auxiliary power units, and environmental systems. Since the missile depends on outside power and temperature control until launch, they must ensure dispatching teams have the necessary electrical and environmental units to keep each facility on alert. Their familiarity with power equipment allows them to troubleshoot electrical problems on support gear and vehicles used by teams on site and ensure their operability before dispatch. In addition, they operate the battery repair shop to recycle and recharge the thousands of batteries necessary for emergency standby power at sites and alert facilities. Their constant behind-the-scenes work allows the smooth operation of tasks in the field and maximizes the equipment resources of the squadron. Often it prevents excess downtime and high-cost replacement. The periodic maintenance section has approximately 24 personnel divided into 4 teams. They implement the periodic maintenance program by scheduling and performing detailed inspections and equipment service at launch and alert facilities. This program is based on the old adage, an ounce of prevention is better than a pound of cure. It is much easier and cost-effective to do checks often than have to replace $1 million component once. Their preventative maintenance is a key ingredient to the Wing's ability to maintain its outstanding alert rate. As an overall inspection team, they look at multiple aspects of the site. Although the technicians may be more practiced in certain areas, they maintain a general knowledge of all the site's systems, since any one might suddenly require their attention. They work on the diesel generators, sump pumps, power distribution system, batteries, and emergency control system. While their concentration is here, they also maintain an eye for any discrepancies around site. This often reveals the need for other sections to dispatch and perform their own preventative maintenance. This section has the longest duty periods within the squadron because they dispatch for multiple days to complete their inspections. Lengthy driving times and the thoroughness of their work often require them to remain overnight or RON at the nearest missile alert facility. The hydraulics section is comprised of only 7 people, yet they perform both in-shop and field maintenance. Their function is corrective and preventative maintenance on hydraulic and pneumatic equipment, such as pipe pushers, which open the launch tube door, transporter erector actuators, self-contained breathing apparatus, instrument air compressors, blast valves, shock isolators, and blast doors. This is a wide scope of responsibility and large tasking considering Malmstrom's 200 silos, but regular inspections and attention to detail ensure that the job gets done. corrosion control is very unique because it is manned exclusively by civilians. As such, their extended time on station ensures continuity and familiarity with the problems specific to each site. This section conducts its own in-shop training and quality assurance. Their two teams are responsible for both on-base and in-field corrosion prevention, for both topside and below ground, and work on a system of annual inspections. Timely treatment of prevention of corrosion and its effects helps extend the life of the facilities immeasurably. Since the most important part of the weapon system is underground, water is a definite threat to combat readiness. Careful scrutiny and great patience on the part of these teams assist in maintaining the integrity of the facilities and improve their survivability. The facility's maintenance flight consists of 4 elements and the support element. The elements provide 2-person teams who dispatch to repair standby power, power distribution, environmental control, and intrinsic water removal systems. They also perform troubleshooting and repair of general wiring, miscellaneous leaks, and fuel transfer systems. FMTs are trained to clean up PCB leaks at launch and missile alert facilities. These technicians do the actual in-field repair work and, when needed, replacement of diesel generators, brine chillers, and other equipment. Normally, technicians go to FMT after a tour on a periodic maintenance team. The experience needed for FMT work is best provided by time spent in PMT because of the hands-on training they receive. As the Cold War ends and the 21st century dawns, the 341st Missile Wing still stands ready and able to defend our nation. That ability is due in no small measure to you, the airmen of the Missile Maintenance Squadron. If this country is to remain the symbol of democracy, it will need you to face the new challenges of the changing world with the same resolution and courage that saw us through the Cold War. Now as then, we need motivated warriors to do the job right.
Mighty Air Force. Mighty, mighty Air Force. Better than the Army. Better than the Army. Ground pounding Army. Ground pounding Army. Better than the Navy. Better than the Navy. Deck swabbing Navy. Deck swabbing Navy. Better than the Marine Corps. Better than the Marine Corps. Jawhead Marine Corps. Jawhead Marine Corps. Better than the Coast Guard. Better than the Coast Guard. Lazy, lazy Coast Guard. Lazy, lazy Coast Guard. We are the Air Force. We are the Air Force. Mighty, mighty Air Force. Mighty, mighty Air Force. Roughed up Air Force. Roughed up Air Force. Lean and mean Air Force. Lean and mean Air Force. Mighty, mighty Air Force. Mighty, mighty Air Force. United States Air Force. United States Air Force. Hey there, we're gonna fly. Hey there, we're gonna fly. Fly all day till the day we die. Fly all day till the day we die. Flying up and flying down and flying up and flying around. Flying up and flying down and flying up and flying around. Hey there, we're gonna fly. Hey there, we're gonna fly. Fly all day till the day is right. Fly all day till the day is right. Flying up and flying down and flying up and flying around. Flying up and flying down and flying up and flying around. And hey there, we're gonna run. Hey there, we're gonna run. Run all day till the day is done. Run all day till the day is done. Running far and running near, running far and running near. Running far